And one of my favorite leftovers we made a lot in our house was like a turkey tetrazzini.
So you have some butter in the pan.
So we're going to make this totally from scratch. We're not going to use any canned soup or anything like that. So we're going to start with a little bit of butter, and we're going to go into that with a little bit of flour. And again, to make a proper roux, you want to use equal parts by weight. Okay. So, and again, for this recipe, we're shooting for a blonde roux, so we don't need to cook this terribly long. So using a whisk, we just want to get that butter all the way melted in there, and then we're going to go right in with this all-purpose flour. And in goes the flour, and you just want to whisk thoroughly as you're going so you don't get any lumps. Okay. And this will take on the consistency of wet sand. So we've got some celery, some bell pepper, some onions. We've got some button mushrooms that have just kind of been chopped into bite-sized pieces. We've got a little bit of Parmesan cheese. We've got turkey stock from our turkey that we made earlier. And then we've got some heavy cream. And then the last thing here is maybe something that's a little bit more creative, but it's pretty common. You can buy it in grocery stores. Panko breadcrumbs, exactly.
And you just toasted them lightly just so that they're not cooking in the oven too long.
Exactly, yeah. I put them in a skillet with a little bit of butter and thyme and just browned them up ahead of time a bit. It's going to help save a little bit of time for that casserole to cook.
And so then you want to pre-cook your noodles.
Yep, you want to have your noodles already cooked for this one.
You want them pretty al dente so that they're not mushy by the time you cook it in the oven?
Yeah, absolutely. Leave a little bit of texture to them, and I think that will serve you well for this dish. But again, with all of this cream and heavy, rich sauce, it's going to be a very soft kind of eating thing anyways. That's the advantage of having those breadcrumbs, I think, is to kind of lighten things up a little bit.
So in goes the turkey stock?
Yep, in goes the turkey stock. Okay, so we're going to add that in. Then we're going to add our vegetables in, and we're going to cook it for a little while until our veggies start to become tender. But let me just whisk this in real quick. Go right in with that if you just want to add it in. Okay.
Sorry.
No worries. All right, perfect. That's okay. Cooking doesn't have to be so fussy. It can still be fun. Go ahead and add the mushrooms in now too. And we're going to cook this up real nice. And this is a nice way to have kind of like a really soft, tender vegetable and just kind of let them contribute their flavor into this. So this is going to need to come up to a boil, and when it hits that boil, it's going to start to thicken up. And we'll reduce the heat at that point, and we'll just kind of simmer it until our vegetables are nice and tender, and then we're going to add it over that, and we'll build the rest of the casserole. The next thing we're going to add in is our turkey meat. Now, we didn't talk about this earlier, but in the other leftover segments, you know, we've stressed the importance of this is already cooked, so you don't want to cook the heck out of it.
So just dump that mixture right in.
Yeah, we've got a nice casserole dish here that we don't have to butter it or anything for this. We've got some cooked egg noodles there. We'll spoon this right over. Okay, and then we'll...
So mix it up.
Yep, you do want to mix it up. You can go panko first and then put some cheese on top of that. And again, that panko we just briefly toasted in a skillet with a little bit of butter and some thyme. And you can really be pretty aggressive with that. You can. I think the best part of a turkey tetrazzini is a nice crusty topping. Yeah. Absolutely. And sometimes this fried thyme, I'll just kind of let its leaves, its crispy little leaves come off on the dish too, and that'll add an additional bit of really nice flavor to that. All right, and then Parmesan it up in the oven.
How much of the Parmesan?
A generous amount. You can really, you know, this is one of those things. I love cheese, so that looks good to me. And we'll pop it right in the oven at 350, and we'll give it, basically everything is cooked here, so it's just until the cheese is brown and bubbly.
This looks delicious.
It's a nice thing about it is it will stay hot for quite a while, so you could, you know, have this ready and just set it aside until the kids are ready to eat.
Kids like big kids like me.
Mm-hmm.
That has so much flavor. Mm-hmm. Delicious. Another winner.
Good. Well, I'm glad you like it, Gina.